little over 7 years ago, driving to church on a Sunday morning, was an auto accident. Got rear-ended really bad, totaled the car.
I think it was either the next day or the day after, he was still complaining of back pain and stuff, and then I actually noticed he was starting to slur his words. And so we were sitting outside of urgent care, and I made the decision to just go up to the hospital.
And it resulted in a concussion, traumatic brain injury for me. It significantly impacted my life going forward.
We were very involved in church and had a very busy, full life, and it came kind of to a screeching halt.
My brain just craved black, dark silence. But I personally just got sick and tired of it. I felt like I was living like a mole. In my journal I read recently, from back then, is I'm just tired of feeling tired. And, I remember thinking, will my brain ever be normal? Will I ever think the way I used to think? Will I be able to trust my brain again?
We prayed a lot for healing in the early days. And I think I don't know if I ever really stopped praying for that.
Last spring, just in quiet time praying, I felt God saying, I'm going to heal you in the fall. And that's kind of an interesting thing. You can go, well, what do I do with that, right? And so I just was praying about it and asking for more clarity. And then our small group, Missional Community, meets on Wednesdays. So I go to the small group. They're my people, right? And I say, all right, this is what God's saying to me. Will you guys join me in praying for this? And the real heartfelt thing is pretty much everybody said, Eric, we're always praying for you to be healed. It's like, oh. Dave and Stacy had joined our missional community, about a year before that, and Dave had learned that cancer he'd been fighting was pretty much spreading through his whole body, and he had passed away a few weeks earlier. And we're at his memorial service. And in the middle of that, I hear, now's the time. And this is going to sound odd, but I felt this sense of tingling go from my head down to my toes and back up to my head. Basically, in that instant, on that Saturday, it was October 28th, I think, something like that, I was restored back to the person I was before.
The contrast is just amazing. Your life before, your life during, and your life post-healing has changed. Each of those time periods are so different. It's crazy.
It's like I've spent 7 years in sort of a dark basement, with maybe a dim bulb locked in there, and kind of living my life in this everything subdued sense. And now I get to live upstairs with nice hardwood floors and bright floor-to-ceiling windows and sunshine.
When we were visiting our friends who knew Eric before the accident and then got to experience his healing, is all of them really expressed the thing that they said the most after we saw them, and then I would talk to them later, was how much this gave them hope. And so many of them were retelling the story over and over again, because it just gives you hope that God is the God who heals.
I'm obviously very, very appreciative of God and what He's done for me. And I think it's just in retrospect, it's helped me to look back, and not just with this healing, but see all the different times through my life where God's been very good to me, very good to us. If there is a possibility that there's a God, and He's really big, capital G, like really big God who created everything, what would He really be like? And what are the possibility that maybe He actually cares about what He created? What would it be like to know that God? And might that person, might that being really have some good insight on how to live your life? Might they know us better than we know ourselves? And if you're going to hang your hat on anything, you're going to set your strategy for your life really on anything, wouldn't that person be the best bet?